Hey there, it's Lacy J from Space Bear Media, the makers of Lost in My 40s. Did you know that you can go to spacebearmedia.com right now to access all our content, including our weekly video pre-shows where your hosts ponder ethical questions related to the week's episode and answer some fun questions just for, well, fun. Speaking of fun, if you have it thanks to our content, please consider rating or reviewing Lost in My 40s on your favorite app, or recommend us to a friend who loves Lost. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Lost in My 40s. We are at Season 2, Episode 9. It's titled What Kate Did. It's a Kate episode, obviously. It's the one where we find out what she did.
Pretty obvious.
You don't say.
Yeah. How's everybody doing?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good.
All right. Ben's going to give us Kate's episode today, but before that, he's going to update us on our power rankings, babe.
Yes. The power rankings are that Mr. Echo is by far and away in the lead with, 76 points. And behind him, we have Kate in second place. And we have Jack last week pulling into third place. Dr. Bronze is at it again. Can't keep a bronze man down. So the bottom of the barrel seems to be largely unchanged. We've got Randy Douchebag Nations with negative 33 points, Mr. Cooper with negative 30, and who is it? Oh, Ana Lucia has edged her way into the bottom three.
Well, murder can do that to you. Which
Christy's probably happy.
It's going to be. I'm interested to see what happens after today, because Kate's been such a front runner, and this episode could change that. I guess we're going to see how forgiving we are to Kate over Ana Lucia. Ben, tell us what Kate did.
Sure. We start on the beach. I have no idea. Does it say on the actual show what day it is? Because you guys always say day X, and I'm always just like, what the fuck? You guys know what day it is?
Because I'm getting those from another website that has it all mapped out. But I will tell you that it is day 49, because the last series of episodes we watched the other 48 days. And then with Ana Lucia's episode, it was the end of day 48. So I can, without looking it up, tell you that it's day 49.
All right. Well, it's day 49. We start on the beach where Jin emerges shirtless from his tent and does a little bit of flexing for the camera. Like everyone on this island is like cut.
They're
ridiculous.
All fucking hot and ridiculous. Yeah.
It's like they just survive on fish, swimming, and doing a lot of peck work. Seems like running from the other. Yeah, running from the others gets them cut. Sun comes out of the tent behind him, and then they have a nice moment where they're she's hugging him from behind, and it's very gentle. And Hurley is, I think he's doing laundry or something like that, and he looks over at Jin and sort of grins and gives him the thumbs up.
Hey, somebody got laid.
They probably played some 3-hole last night.
Yeah, Sun looks really content in this moment.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we go the other way, and Sun looks over at Saeed, who is digging Shannon grave with a hollowed out piece of bamboo. And again, I've got to make the observation: why do they keep burying people so in the sand, so close to that's not a good idea.
Because it's easy to dig.
Yeah,
sure, yeah, but then it's going to also stink like holy hell.
Of course, I mean, I guess if you can dig that hatch out of the ground, you could dig a grave. Or the pit of despair, you could dig a grave.
Oh, yeah. Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what they need to do. They just need to use the pit of despair as a mass grave.
Oof.
Well, I know it's not something you'd want to do, but yeah.
Yeah.
So now we cut to the bunker where Jack is tending to Sawyer, who is still in that bunk bed, unconscious. And he mutters to Jack, "Where is she?" And Jack tells Sawyer that Kate's been taking care of him. And Sawyer mutters, "I love her." Twice.
Mm-hmm. Jack didn't like that.
Jack did not like that.
Yep.
He got a very, again, most of his best acting is just when he doesn't say anything. You just look at his face. So yeah, he makes a face that.
Jack has a good sad face.
He does.
He's got a good sad face, like in the last episode where. Nope, it's not the last episode. Never mind. It's 2 episodes from now. Just kidding. We'll talk about that later. I'm thinking of the hunting party. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Next, we go to Kate in the jungle, who is scaling a tree or climbing a shaft, however you want to put that.
Oh my God.
She is way up that tree.
She is up there, man. She's like, I'm not sure
working
how high
that
is.
Shaft.
She's at least 5 kilometers inland. No, she's probably 40 feet up in that tree. And as she starts to, she's like gathering fruit. And as she starts to come down on the shaft, she drops some fruit.
Oh my God.
And slips and almost falls. And when she gets down on the ground and she starts picking up the fruit, and she looks up, and there is a black horse standing right there in the middle of the jungle. And
the black stallion.
Obviously very surprised.
Yeah.
It is a black stallion. Yeah. And it's weird, like knowing what you know later in the episode, but still in this scene, it's obviously surprising that there's a black horse there, but there's also a look of recognition on her face.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which is,
you can tell where she's like, it's not just like, oh, weird, there's a horse on an island, because it's not that weird. There's polar bear on the island. But when she sees the horse, it's obvious that it means something to her.
Yeah.
And is it a stallion? Did anybody see the horse's dick? I couldn't tell if it was male or female.
There was looking for the dick, but
there was a book called The Black Stallion, so I was just.
Of course. No, I know what the reference you're making. I'm just saying stallion means it would be a male horse, and I did see that it was a male horse. But again, like Derek said, I wasn't looking for the dick either. Anyways, which is strange because I usually am.
You're saying that you're usually looking for dick?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not, I guess that's not too far from the truth.
All dicks. I like dicks. I like penises. I like
peni.
Wieners.
Peni.
Is it really?
I like peni. Yeah. No,
it's not.
No.
I think it's
penises.
Yeah. I just take anything. It's like cactus. I take anything that's, if it
cacti.
ends with an us and cacti,
like Lexi,
yeah. So we got our first flashback.
Lexi.
First flashback. It's night, and Kate sits on the porch of some house, flipping her.
Okay, can I just
Zippo
say
lighter.
that in your timeline you wrote crotch?
Did
like
I?
Kate sits on
I
the
did.
crotch.
I did.
crotch.
I got a
Ben
crotch
wrote that
on.
one. I thought that it was you because I went through and corrected it, and I'm like, really? Is Lacy okay neurologically?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, no. This is the one. Ben wrote it for me because I was going through finals week and I didn't have time because I was studying, and because it was his episode to present, he wrote it, and that's why it says that Kate sat on the crotch.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like. Not really a word, but somehow sounds dirty.
Yeah.
And the font changes later too.
Maybe it's because it rhymes with crotch. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, I write documentation so much for work that when I do this, I'm just like, fuck it. You should see it before I go through and do the edits, though. Like my typing is as bad as my handwriting. It's terrible.
I do like that Ben's outline makes Christy think that I had a stroke.
Yeah, that's great.
Anywho, Kate's sitting on the crotch. What happens next?
Yeah, and as far as neurological problems, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. So while her sitting on the porch, a truck pulls up playing country music, and this drunk, creepy guy emerges and starts walking towards her. And just kind of inappropriate in every way. The way he looks, the way he is.
He looks at her sand too.
Oh yeah, she does. He does. Okay, guys, you know what? Come on. And she says, "Let's get you to bed." She helps him into the house, and he asks her, "What's that smell?" And Kate
probably
says,
your nasty ass body. Take a shower.
Probably your breath is what she says.
She's wasted.
But it's not.
And,
it's not his breath. We know it's not.
We know that. Yeah. But he's too fucking drunk to understand that. So he flops into the bed, and then he tells her she's
like
beautiful.
if you're that drunk. Hold on though. If you're wasted drunk and you walk into your house, do you think you're too drunk to be like, it smells like gas in here? How would you not know?
I think I don't know. It's fiction. I have no idea what that would happen.
Yeah.
I love how Ben says it's fiction. You're the most critical one. You're the one writing fucking letters to the directors. It's 20 years after the show.
Maybe he had COVID.
You are?
Maybe he was patient 0 for COVID, and he couldn't smell anything. Did you think about that?
There we go. Yeah.
I love that Derek
COVID
says you
05.
are. Like he's really writing fucking letters. Okay.
So she helps him into the bed, and he says, "You're beautiful," and then asks her if she's going to take his pants off.
Gross.
That's so gross.
Yeah. And then kind of grabs her and like grabs her by the arm or something like that, and tells her again that she's beautiful. Yeah. So she, gets him into bed, gets that finished. She leaves the house and jumps on her motorcycle. And as she's riding away, boom, the entire house explodes.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome
So we found out
sheen.
what Kate did.
Yeah, we found out what Kate did before we even get to the title screen.
Yeah. She
I was
blew
just
up
really
a house.
upset that she wasn't wearing a helmet on that motorcycle.
Oh, yeah,
What?
there was that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you're planning on killing somebody and blowing up a house, you definitely should be wearing head protection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been fucking funny if she's riding and then all of a sudden she like hits a rock, comes off her bike, gets a concussion, and passes out?
No, that'd be horrible. And then she'd get caught.
Well, she gets caught anyway.
It's caught anyway.
Well, sure, but like years later.
Yeah, I mean, but
Actually, I guess
from
it
a
doesn't
public-
really say how long she was on the run, does it?
That's true. I don't know.
Do we know that even?
I don't
I'm
know
not
at
sure.
this point anyway. So we go to the title screen. When we come back, we're still in a flashback, and Kate walks into a diner, and there's a song playing, and I'd recognize this song because I play Fallout, and they've got a bunch of songs from like the 40s, 50s, and 60s in that game, and there's a song by Skeeter Davis called "End of the
That's a
World."
great name.
Yeah,
Skeeter Davis.
Skeeter Davis.
Yeah, but
Yep.
it's a woman.
Yeah.
A woman named Skeeter.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
there was a woman named Skeeter in the book The Help.
Oh,
Did it
was
take
there?
place in the South?
Yeah, the young lady, the white lady reporter who.
I have not seen the film nor read the book. So I
Oh my
don't know.
God, they're both great.
I have heard that.
So Skeeter is slang for mosquito,
Yes.
depending on
Right.
where you are in the country. So
I know it just
Yeah,
sounds like a guy name to me. I don't know.
Yeah. me too. I
it sounds
thought
like
it was.
it sounds like a guy that works on old cars.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
like Cooter
Yeah,
Brown.
Cooter, exactly. Cooter and Skeeter,
Yeah, right.
Crazy
Like my
Cooter
car,
coming at you.
my truck ain't running right. I got to take it down to Skeeter.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like. Yeah.
Yes.
or like if
Anyway.
he was gonna have a band, it would be like Skeeter and the Missing Chromosomes.
They can
But
deliverance here.
I really love this song. It's a really pretty song, and it's got like lyrics that are fairly very, very sad. One of the verses is, "Why do the birds go on singing? Why do the stars glow above? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when I lost your love."
Oh,
I mean,
that's nice.
Those are some lyrics.
Yeah.
Intensity.
I think it's yeah. A waitress comes up to Kate, and Kate asks her for a beer. And we find out very soon that the woman is actually Kate's mother. And you can see that Kate is visibly shaken.
I would hope so. She just murdered somebody.
Yeah. Well, and you don't actually really know that from this. Like you're assuming that it's linear, but sometimes they do jump around. But yeah, in this case, she had just.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she just come from blowing up her, I guess, mom's husband, and now she's here, and she asks her mom how her wrist is.
And her mom's whole fucking house too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, you got the insurance policy for her or whatever, but like, you just destroyed every belonging she has. Like, what the fuck?
I kind of have if you're talking about abuse or something like that versus possessions, I think I totally agree with what Kate did. I don't care about
I do too.
There are
Well,
other
we will
ways
have-
to accomplish the same,
napalm,
Oh my God.
other incendiary
I mean,
devices.
She didn't have to blow up the entire house. There, there were other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she could have just done the carbon monoxide thing. That actually would have been better.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Would have been less suspicious. That's
Well,
for
yeah,
sure.
exactly.
That's true, because he was drunk off his ass.
Yeah, it would save all of her
Yeah.
mom's very important possessions. So, so her mom, again, she asks her mom how her wrist is, and her mom makes up some lame excuse about falling and hurting herself. I don't remember exactly what it is. And Kate just, she doesn't buy it because she's heard this shit before. And then her mom says, I made my bed.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to. I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I know.
She's just
So
saying
you made the
she's-
bad decision to get into an abusive relationship that you're just like, well, guess there's nothing
Fuck
I
it,
can do
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's
That is
very
how some women,
yeah.
That's how some women
Yeah.
are.
It's a really
sad.
pathetic resignation, but that's something like when people are
Yeah.
abused. Sometimes, it's like Sawyer said: when you kick a dog enough around, it starts thinking it deserves it. This is the same
Yeah.
damn thing.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
So, Kate hands her an insurance policy for the house, and then tells her mom, "Your bed is gone." And her mom asks if Wayne knows about it. Well, in a sense, Kate starts to leave and tells her mom that she took care of her and that she's going to be going away for a while.
So Kate's a fucking idiot because one day
It's
you
a
take
bad
out an
plan.
insurance policy on the house and
Yeah.
a couple days later, the house fucking mysteriously blows up. That's
Well,
not suspicious
She obviously
at all.
didn't watch Forensic Files or any
Seriously.
of those shows.
No.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad plan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the unsub is very disorganized.
Oh my God.
She's just it's just a really stupid fucking plan and she's an idiot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's unfortunate that she's that
Awesome
dumb.
Kate hate over
I
here.
know.
I mean,
Yeah,
she's
it's
still
tough because-
adorable, but
I know, and I love her. Like I love the anti-hero role, but yeah, when you see that, it's just sort of like, really? That was your fucking plan? Like, I could murder somebody
I don't
slicker
know.
than that.
I don't know. When she's riding away on that motorcycle and the house blows up, sploosh.
I mean, yeah.
Ew.
And sploosh.
Sploosh.
Ooh, you don't sploosh, baby. You like
Not often.
You need to say like, boing. That's what you
I
did.
really want to date myself.
Oh my God. Wayne's World.
Exactly.
Okay.
So back to the present, back to the hatch, and Kate walks into where Jack is tending to Sawyer. She's still a little visibly messed up about seeing the horse. And Jack says that he isn't really sure if the drugs are helping Sawyer. He mentions he mentions Shannon's funeral, and she says that she's going to stay and that Jack should go. And then before he leaves, Jack reminds her about the button. So again,
I remind her about my button too.
yeah. So you got one person who's there who's conscious and another person there who's unconscious. Does Locke's beautiful plan of tending two people to the button make allowances for unconscious people?
There's no plan.
Yeah.
He said that. He said he was
plan.
making a 2-person plan, and then
Man.
it just disappeared. And there's only ever one person in that goddamn hatch.
Disappeared. Locke's an idea man. He's not much for implementation.
Well, I don't know about that. He sure
That's why-
implemented his way into that hatch.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah, he
why he
did.
never made it into management like Randy douchebag.
That's true.
Yeah.
True.
For all of Randy's faults, when he puts his shoulder into an idea, he gets it done.
Oh my God.
That's right.
So back on the beach, Anna Luca, as I spelled it. Anna Lucia is
As
driving.
you wrote it on there, and
Yeah.
you put Anna with 2 N's and not one.
Whatever.
Anna Luca.
I know what it says. So on the beach, Anna Lucia is driving a stake into the sand, I guess trying to put up a tent or something like that. Mr. Echo approaches and says that he's going to go to Shannon's funeral. Anna Lucia says she isn't, obviously.
Yeah, that would be weird.
A little,
Yeah, that
too
would be
soon?
very weird.
Too soon?
It's a bit much.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Anna Lucia should go there and be like, 21 gun salute, bang, bang, bang.
Oh my God.
That would be kind of amazing.
That would be.
So Echo...
That would be a waste of bullets.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
Echo says they know that everyone else on the island knows that it was an accident, and she's still not really comfortable with that. So we go a little bit up the beach. We got a bunch of extras gathering around the beach for Shannon's funeral. And this always bothers me. Are these the same extras? Because I feel like every time
Some of
I
them
see
are.
a bunch of extras, there's always a different group of people.
There's
I
one
don't know,
lady with long, wavy, dirty blonde hair, and she's usually
Yeah,
wearing a tight rugby style.
Okay.
Yeah, I've noticed
Sure.
that one for
Yeah.
obvious reasons.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's something we should look up. Here's I'm gonna put a note to myself for when I listen to this later. Lacy, look up stuff about the extras and put it in the pre-show.
There you go.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I feel like what's actually happening is they're changing every week. The smoke monster kills them, and then they just pop up from holes, and they're like in totally new garb. And it's like
Another extra.
yeah, it's like someone dies, and it's like boing, there's Steve too. You know, he's coming out of the same holes that Locke comes out of.
That was Scott.
Oh yeah, Scott. See, Steve too, Scott. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, here is something I know about the show. I don't know necessarily if all the extras were the same, but I do know that both Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse were interviewed many times saying that they also couldn't remember which had died, Scott or Steve.
Yeah,
And they would
I
have to
remember reading that.
they'd have to go back and reference the script in the show because they're like, wait, which one did we kill? And it became like a running show joke that nobody on the show knew who was dead.
That's funny.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So Saeed starts delivering his yuguguli, but he sort of stammers. He's not a very good yugugulizer.
Oh my God, I almost ruined this incredibly expensive mic by spitting coffee into it.
You'd be surprised. That
Sorry,
mic's pretty durable.
Oh, well, in
Well,
that
don't
case.
spit shit into it like just because you want to. Like, come on now.
Anywho.
Swallow it.
Ew.
That's a big, thick mic. I'd have trouble swallowing that. That's like a Mr.
my
Echo.
God.
I could take it.
All right. And now I say back to the bunker. No, so Saeed,
badge.
I know he sort of stammers. He can't really make it through I was about to say the eulogy again. He can't make it through the eulogy. Do you remember what he actually said there? I can't.
I think that it was something like, we only met, 49 days ago or whatever. I loved her. And then he just kind of walks away. And to me, it was just an incredibly powerful moment. You can fall in love very quickly. And I certainly see, this as a situation where people are just probably grabbing onto anything that they can for comfort. And, I don't know.
Explains why.
Well, yeah, it's like he spent 47 days, full of trauma and then finally found this kind of love and then it was just taken from him. And so, it's heartbreaking. Yeah. Even though it's Shannon who's dead, which is fine. My heart's broken for Saeed.
Yeah.
I actually, I know that we used to make fun of Shannon, but it bothers me that she's dead because she was redeeming herself.
Yes, she
was
was.
becoming a productive member of the group.
I was disappointed that she got killed.
Yeah.
Were you?
That's why.
Yes.
I no longer go when you guys say Shannon.
Oh, you're mourning.
Wow.
So what you've done
You-
is you've redirected all your hate to Ana Lucia.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, she makes it easy.
Yeah. Feels to me like you're on a little Shannon soapbox. I feel like I'm being talked down to now.
Oh my God.
Oh,
All right, go ahead, Ben.
And a continuity note from this funeral. I notice if you watch this, notice where they bury her. It's almost all sand, and there's just this tiny bit of grass that's around the area. We'll get back to that later.
I think it's the same area where they buried Boone.
Yes.
Yep, it's right next to
Yeah. Here lieth Booth. We go back to the bunker.
Oh my God. You almost made Bloody Mary go up my nose.
Oh man, I am the bane of every microphone in this production.
Yes.
Back to the bunker.
Now I want a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, me too. Shit. I don't have any mix.
I'm going to say it for the third time. Back to the bunker. Kate puts on a record, and it's sort of this country-esque kind of pedal steel song. And she starts preparing food.
What is pedal steel?
Pedal steel is like, it's kind of like slide guitar. It's you always hear it in country music.
Okay.
You hear it in like Hawaiian music too.
Okay.
It's real.
At
kind
first, I thought that you had made another
typo.
Yeah.
No. I actually own it. I actually own my grandpa's pedal steel. It's like from the 1950s.
Okay, I was thinking
it's pretty cool.
Should say Kate put something on a pedestal, and I'm like, well, what did Kate put on a pedestal? Ben?
Sawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny.
So she starts making food for Sawyer, and she tells him or confides in him that she saw a horse. Of course. So Sawyer mutters something, and as Kate comes closer to kind of hear what he's saying, he ends up like grabbing her by the throat and says, "Why did you kill me?"
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We're having another Boar situation here.
Right.
Somebody's murdered or whatever is coming back to life again. God, a lot of the people that were on this plane have murdered somebody. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Next, we see Jack and Locke in the bunker, and the alarm is ringing. And Kate's not around. Again, Locke, great system. Sawyer is lying on the floor, and Locke comes into the whatever that room is with only 22 seconds, types the code poorly. I think he ends up doing several of the numbers wrong, but then ends up resetting the counter with 0 seconds left, just to make sure that we're nice and tense about that. And Locke asks Jack where Kate is, and Jack says he doesn't know.
I want to revisit this. Okay, so Saeed has killed people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're talking
Sawyer
about the murder
has killed
thing?
People. Kate has killed people. Who else on the plane that went? Oh,
Ana Lucia.
Just
talked about that last week. Next week, we will dive into Mr. Echo, who has murdered quite a few people.
Oh, yeah.
He's badass.
He is badass.
Yeah, so that's 5, right? But I feel like out of a plane of like 300 people, it's still 5 seems like a lot.
Yeah.
That's a big
murdered.
percentage.
Yeah. I mean, you got to wonder if the marshal ever had to kill anybody.
I'm sure he did, but I'm thinking more of like not in the course of work. Although that would eliminate Saeed as well. I mean, that was technically his job too.
Interrogation and torture.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think Arts probably made people kill themselves because he was just so awful.
Oh no.
In the immortal words of my wife, anywho. Next
16 times last episode.
Seriously. Next, we find Kate walking in the jungle when Charlie runs up out of nowhere, and he asks her why she missed the funeral. She tells him that she was taking care of Sawyer, and then Charlie says some of the backenders came and that it looks like they had a really, really rough time. And I think he says sort of a Lord of the Flies situation.
Yeah.
And then Kate is she kind of, her eyes lock on something while he's talking. And then she asks like Charlie if he's seen horses on the island. And he says, no polar bears, smoke monsters or whatever, but no horses. And then we whoosh into flashback 2. Kate is in line at a bus station, looking awesome in head-to-toe denim. I dig that look on her. I really dig the denim.
I know
look
you
on
do,
her.
because you love the 70s look on women. There was a lot of denim in the 70s.
I do. It was the worst time in fashion for men, but it was the best time in fashion for women.
Yeah. Men's fashion was
horrid.
I feel like the 1940s.
No disco shirts?
Oh, God, it was so horrid.
Jesus.
My dad had a bunch of those.
I bet he did. Your dad had a fro. He had an awesome fro.
Yes, he did.
Dad had a fro.
Oh,
My
yeah.
dad used to perm.
Yeah,
My
he had
dad
a perm. Yeah.
Yep. My dad permed his hair all through the 70s and 80s. Yeah.
My dad did it until the day he died.
Yeah.
Wow.
My dad
really?
had a mullet for a while.
He had an awesome white fro. It was awesome, man.
Well, he told me that his hair just sucked, and he went to a hairdresser, and the guy said, "Hey, let me just give you a fro," and he just stuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
amazing.
Late 70s, mid 70s through mid 80s was a really common time for men to be perming their hair. That was a thing.
Oh, very, very few could pull it off, too.
Very Mr. Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So back to the bus station. Is it a bus station or a train station? I don't actually really know.
Bus.
It was a bus.
I think it was a bus.
She orders a ticket to Tallahassee, and there's a guy behind her and asks her something about what's a pretty girl like you doing going to Tallahassee.
Fuck off.
Yeah, she turns around to kind of look at the guy, and it is the marshal.
Fuck that guy.
And I didn't say fuck off because it was the marshal. I mean, that's a given. I just mean I've been that woman in a situation where I'm trying to get a task done and I've got some jackass trying to hit on me, and it's just like, ew, go away.
What's a pretty girl like you doing in a place like this?
Yeah, ignoring you. That's what I'm doing.
I'm buying a bus ticket, dickhead. Why else the fuck else would I be here?
Yeah, well, I'm in a bus station. Dumbass.
What do you think I'm doing, you dick?
Yeah. So he persists and asks if he knows her, and she starts looking around, and it looks like there's other kind of suspicious looking men in the station. As she tries to leave,
she scans the room and realizes she's in big fucking trouble.
There's a bunch of G-men in the room. So she tries to leave, and he grabs her and says, "Don't run, Kate." She takes umbrage, punches him in the face, and tries to run. But before
that's why he needs 5 guns.
That's why he needs 5 guns.
Exactly.
That's right. So the marshal, at this point, pins her, puts the cuff on her, and says that Kate's mom gave her up.
And the look on her face,
Bitch.
is like she's so shocked that her mom did that. But her mom has been making bad decisions her entire Kate's entire life. So
so
why are you really surprised?
No surprise there.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Now, he actually says Kate Austin here. Did we know her last name before this?
I think so.
Did we?
Yes, I think that we did. I believe he has said it before in her past episodes, but it's also it was also on her what is that? The paper that they had, that she was a fugitive. Her
the rap sheet.
wanted poster
or
whatever.
Wanted poster, yeah.
Wanted poster, yeah. So I think it was on there. Look at Christy's with her celery and
It's very,
celery
very fancy.
Well, and I keep I'm like, oh, I'm gonna bite, and then I'm like, no, that I can't chew celery while I have this microphone on. That would be a stupid idea.
I keep looking at my coffee and going,
you can mute it. You can mute it while you're chewing.
No, don't worry.
Tips.
It's fine. I'll
Tips for
cut all that
drinking
stuff out.
Bloody Marys.
I'll just let it continue to marinate, and then later on in the day when we take a break, I'll eat it.
There you go.
All right. And when we take a break later on in the day, I will make my own Bloody Mary. So
Yay, we can
stay
do
tuned,
Bloody
guys.
Marys together.
Next week's episode, I'll have a Bloody Mary myself.
Oh boy!
All right.
It'll be like last week's
Jesus,
episode.
I know. What a fucking colossal goat fuck that was. So,
Wow, a goat fuck. That's pretty
anywho,
great, then.
On the beach.
Charlie, who I called Charles here, is strumming a guitar. And Jack asks him if he's seen Kate. I said again, Charles mentions the horse conversation and tells Jack that Kate was going back to the caves. Back in the bunker, Locke uses bolt cutters and finally removes those handcuffs from Jin's wrist.
About time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his wrist is kind of fucked up too. Like you can see where all the, I don't know, it's not really abrasion. I'm not sure what that is, but the sore spot where the handcuffs
it's been rubbing on there for 50 days or 49 days or whatever.
Would you call that an abrasion? Is that what it is? I know if it was like rope, it would be an abrasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what an abrasion is a scratch. Basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Jin shows the handcuffs to Michael, and they actually have a nice little smiling moment there. Michael asks Locke about the blast doors. He's like looking around, like looking up, and seeing like between the two rooms, there's this big steel sort of separator, and Locke
blast door.
A blast door, yeah. And Locke says Locke obviously hadn't really noticed it before,
which is so weird to me that Locke wouldn't have noticed that.
I agree.
Yeah,
you think he would have like looked through that hatch in its entirety?
Yeah. General. Or was he General? Was that what they called him? Colonel?
I think so.
When he was playing war games with his buddies.
Oh, I think it was Colonel, actually.
Oh, yeah, Colonel. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we? Oh, yes. Locke says Desmond hadn't said anything about the blast doors to him. And he mentions the movie, the Dharma Initiative movie, and asks Michael if he wants to watch it. And then Mr. Echo sort of seems kind of interested as well, and he steps up and says that he wants to see it as well. We cut back to the jungle where Kate is just sitting, and Jack walks up behind her, again breathing heavily and sweating. That's
breathing.
Classic Dr. Bronze. He's like, "Hi, Kate." He asks her what the hell happened, and I'm obviously referring to her running out of the bunker, and why is she out here. She just starts to apologize and says, like, "I'm sorry, I'm not as good as you. I'm not as perfect as Jack." And then, she's obviously got some shit going on. And he tries to like hold her or hug her, and she starts to struggle, and he kind of persists, which feels, it seems a little rapey, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the mind that if somebody's really, really struggling to get away from you, you should let them.
Let go.
Yeah. I get it. I understand that they're trying to be like, his, and maybe his loins burned for her, or maybe he's just trying to protect her, but that's a bit much. So after he, subdues her with a giant bear hug, she kind of breaks down and says like, this place is crazy and that she can't handle it. And she kind of pulls back a little bit, and they look at each other, and then they start to kiss. And
it's not as hot as her kiss with Sawyer.
No.
Before he got tortured.
But it's way better.
Or during the torture.
It's way better than the Sun Jin kisses.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, the face press. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So after they kiss, Kate backs away, and her eyes are kind of going around, and she looks kind of confused and sort of runs away. At this point, if you're Jack, are you like, okay, she's got something going on, or are you just like, man, was my breath bad? Am I like a shitty kisser?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I made her run away.
I don't know. I mean, obviously that's what Jack wants. He's into her.
Yeah.
But you also, it's sort of weird to have
concerned about her mental health in this situation.
Yeah, and it's sort of weird to have your first kiss in this like moment of hysteria and crying, and like it's a little strange.
Yeah.
It's all a little weird.
Yeah, it's not. No. It's not hot like it should be. Also, like the idea that you're having your first kiss after you've done 3 holes, it's not.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not very traditional.
No.
So back in the bunker, Locke, Echo, and Michael are watching the Swan training video. And while Echo and Mike are watching the video, Locke just sort of watches them. And the video says, do not attempt to use the computer. And then again, it sort of jumps or splices or whatever to the end of the video. And Michael asks Locke about pressing the button. And Locke tells Michael about the 2-person shift.
That he didn't follow through on.
Yeah, it's just a brazen lie at this point. Like, just stop, Locke. Come on, man. So Michael asks Locke, why are you doing this? Like, why are you pressing this button? And Locke says the film pretty much explains everything. And then he says something about the missing pieces are probably just a frame here and there. They're probably not that important.
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah. This is one of those things where it's just like, Locke, you probably would have known about the blast doors, and you would probably
Locke
have
is
wondered.
Smarter than that.
Yeah.
For both this situation and the blast doors, Locke is smarter than that.
Yeah.
For some reason, the writers are dumbing him down here.
Yeah.
And I don't care for it.
I don't really either.
Agreed.
When Locke is sharp, Locke's great. When Locke is like, when he's not on top of things, he's sort of a lame ass character.
Yep.
Because then he's just one of those people that's like, I'm a man of faith, but I can't fucking do anything. Like, it's kind of like Saeed when he's Shannon drunk, you know?
Oh boy, you are not going to let that
go. And I will always defend that relationship.
Yeah, that's great. Good for you. So,
oh my god.
So Locke asks Echo what he thinks about the video, and Echo says nothing. He just stands up and walks away. But you can sort of tell that he's thinking about something. Back to the beach, Kate is sitting next to Shannon's grave, looking sort of confused and sad. Saeed puts a necklace around. He's there as well, and he puts a necklace around her grave marker. Kate says she missed the funeral because she was with Sawyer, and Saeed asks why. Kate says that she's going crazy and asks if Saeed believes in ghosts. And then Saeed confides in her that he had just seen Walt before Shannon was killed, and then says, does that make me crazy?
I think the island is crazy.
So this is the point where we come back to the place where Shannon was buried. Okay. It's not mostly sand with a little bit of grass anymore. There's a lot of grass there. So I've got two theories about this. One is that the continuity guy...
We're diving into the grass now?
Yes, we are. We are diving into the grass.
Okay.
My first theory is that the continuity guy for Lost is also Jack's wig maker.
Oh my God.
The other is that Shannon is finally contributing to the island and that she makes for great fertilizer.
Oh my God.
I would buy that one.
Yeah.
I will present a third theory and say that Sun has been planting grass around them to make it pretty.
That's actually a more believable one.
Right?
It would help keep erosion under control.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yes.
You need the dunes.
Yeah. This is all the same. This is all the same day, though, right?
I think so.
So he buries her, and then he sets about just grabbing grass and putting it all around there. You know, that's the form his grief takes, I guess. So we go to the next flashback. Kate's in handcuffs, and she's in the car with the marshal. And he asks her if she's comfy. And then he asks her, I know.
Why does he have to be such a dick to her? Like, I get, okay, you're a marshal, she's a criminal, you picked her up, but why do you have to be such a cocksucker about it?
Seriously.
I think that's the personality of a lot of people in law enforcement.
Bounty hunters or whatever he is.
Yeah, I think it kind of has to be. Like, you have to, I think to work that hard to like chase somebody around or something like that, you have to sort of make it personal. I feel like if I were in that profession, I would make things a little personal too, because that would keep me going.
All right.
Yeah. You have to make that person your adversary, I guess. So, or maybe not. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and they're total pros, and it's not personal at all. But then he asks her.
I would hope that is the case.
I would hope so too.
Maybe not.
I would hope that's the case with all cops, but obviously we see that it's not in all cases.
Yeah.
And they're just cops for the court, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the marshals. We went over that in one fun fact.
Yeah. And then the marshal asks her, why now? He says, you don't have a criminal record. Why'd you kill him now? She doesn't say anything. And he says that the whole murder was sort of amateurish and that he totally had her figured out.
Correct in that.
It was amateurish. Yes. Very Bush League. He says he figures he's got her figured out.
So is his driving in a second.
That's true.
Yeah, shit.
She says, you don't know shit about me. And then he pretty much lays out the entire scenario about a drunk guy who beats up her mom and her mom defends him. And then he asks her again, but why now? And echoing what you said, Lacy, for it being rainy and nighttime and this guy supposedly being a pro, he does not keep his eyes on the road much.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
He's just looking sideways at Kate the entire time.
Yep.
Okay, buddy.
Just horsing around. Almost like he's tempting the fates. Yeah. I know. So
as long as you know.
I do. I kind of hate myself a little bit.
No, you don't. You're fucking proud of yourself.
That
don't
too.
lie.
But I'm also ashamed that I'm proud. It's a really twisted cycle.
Oh my God. It's a vicious circle.
That too.
Sorry.
I put my own spin on it. So the marshal asks Kate if he molested her. And she says no. And she's very, very adamant about that. And while he tries to light a cigarette, something jumps in front of the car. They crash right into, I think it's a telephone pole, but they crash into something. And while he's stunned, she grabs the handcuff keys and he starts to come around. And she punches him and kicks him out of the car and jumps in the driver's seat. And while she's about to pull away and leave him behind, she sees the black horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then she hoofs it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Hey, Ben.
Yeah, babe?
Got any special occasions coming up that you need a card for?
Is this a trick question?
No, it's an advertisement.
Is this about barbcards.com again?
Bingo.
So I suppose you're going to remind me that each handmade card is only $1.50?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't come with busy backgrounds or flowery poetry?
You got it. Barbcards.com offers to-the-point communication within several different categories, including our favorite, potty mouth. And if you can't find what you want, barbcards.com can do customizations.
Can I still get all of my cards for no more than $4 shipping, no matter the size of the order?
You know it. Barbcards.com has got all you need. Hey, Ben.
Oh my God, what are we selling now?
Merch.
Our merch?
Yes, sir. Shirts, coffee mugs, wine tumblers, bottle openers, stickers, magnets, and more. Your choice of product and your choice of Space Bear Media graphic from any of our podcasts.
Please tell me we're not making merch now, too.
Of course not. We'll stick to podcasts, and Pixis products will do the rest.
Thank God. I bet you have more to say, though.
Sure do. Pixis Products is a small business run by a local mom, well, local to us anyway, who needed something else to do besides being a snack bitch.
A what?
A snack bitch, also known as a mom with a young child.
There's still more, isn't there?
Yepers! Pixis Products works with other small businesses for supplies, art, and other collaborations at every opportunity, including ours. In fact, Pixis Products even gave Space Bear Media our own storefront on their site. You can find us at shopspacebear.com.
Say what?
You heard me. Go to shopspacebear.com and buy something.
Back in the bunker, Locke's bringing Michael up to speed on the buttons situation. And Locke walks in on Echo, who's sitting like quietly in the dark booth. And Echo asks Locke if he can tell him a story. And he starts to tell him the story of Josiah, king of Judah, which is my middle name, by the way. Just letting everyone know in case there's any identity thieves out there.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Holy shit.
He doesn't mean Josiah. He means King of Judah.
Yeah, my name is Benjamin, King of Judah. Actually, my middle name's Danger. We all know this.
Oh, yeah.
So the temple of the people of Judah was ruined, and they started worshiping idols as a result. So Josiah asks his secretary or whoever to get gold to rebuild the temple. The secretary had no gold, but he says that he found an ancient book. He calls it the Book of Law, the Old Testament.
I'd be like, yo, where's my fucking gold?
Yeah,
bro?
where's my gold?
Yeah,
son?
I don't want a book.
Yeah, I sent you
I don't
for
need a
gold.
book.
You came back with a book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
With a
But
bunch of crappy laws.
Let me take it back, because one of the best lines, like, of the show, totally. Echo says, "If you don't mind, I will begin at the beginning. Long before Christ."
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the fucking beginning right there.
Yeah. Well, it's like he said, like, you weren't kidding. Something like that.
Yeah.
So instead of some bling, they found a book, and then Echo says that in the present, that when they were in the other bunker on the other side of the island, they found a book. He hands the book.
Dun, dun, dun.
He hands the book over to Locke, and the book has a lot of the pages carved out in the middle, and in there he finds the missing section of tape from the video.
The look on Locke's face when he pulls the film out of there is amazeballs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very, very good.
So, a question that I've got here is: was the whole Bible story really necessary? I mean, I know Echo is all steeped in Jesus and all that shit, but like, it seems a bit desperate.
Well,
Extraneous.
Yeah.
I can explain it. Is that Echo's episode is next, and what they do, if you pay attention, whomever's backstory is about to happen, their episode is about to happen, they always get a little bit more time in the episode directly before, possibly two before, which is sort of like a kind of an introduction, because we're watching this episode, and while it happens to be Kate's, we're now kind of intrigued and being like, oh, well, what's up with Mr. Echo? And then he comes next week. And so I think that's part of it. It's not necessarily like, did the story itself forward the plot? Maybe not, but it did in the way of like giving more of an introduction to Echo and how he's religious and, all that good stuff.
Well, and you also have two men of faith.
Yeah.
They want to sit down and,
right.
Yeah.
Seems like a whole lot of unnecessary God bothering to me, but both very valid points. Back to the jungle where Jack is chopping wood very aggressively when Hurley walks up. And Hurley, in perfect Hurley fashion, says, Rose's husband is white. Didn't see that one coming.
Just random.
Yeah, I know.
Last time he said that line was when Son spoke English.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember? Or was it Charlie who said that? One of them said, didn't see that coming.
I think it was
Hurley.
I think it was too. Yeah.
Hurley says he's just taking a walk and asks Jack who's taking care of Sawyer. Jack tells him that Son is doing that. And then Hurley asks Jack if he's mad at Sawyer. And he mentioned something about like when he was in the mental hospital, they called it transference. And which I thought was pretty insightful. And Jack just says I'm not mad at anyone.
Jack is lying.
Jack is lying.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Sure.
Back in the bunker, Son is caring for Sawyer. And Kate shows up and asks if Sawyer had spoken. Son says no, he's still sleeping. And then Kate agrees to, that he says, like, you can go, I'll watch over Sawyer. Takes us to the next flashback where Kate walks into an army recruiting center, sits down at the desk of some guy, and then calls him Dad.
Yeah, and you know what?
Yes.
Sorry. I was getting high. If we hadn't heard the name before, it says Austin on his shirt.
Ah, yes.
Oh, cool.
And another thing is, in the TV in the background, it shows Saeed being pushed into the back of a car.
Really?
I did not notice that. You're always noticing the stuff on TV. That's cool.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you caught Hurley on the TV in Sun and Jin's episode.
I always wondered, why was he on TV in Korea? Because the lottery was just in the United States.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Like maybe a record-breaking
that could be it.
amount.
Yeah, that could be.
Made world news.
So it was Saeed getting into a car on the TV?
Yeah, being pushed into the back of a car, yeah.
Pushed in like he was being arrested.
Right.
Right? Like okay. Interesting. Yeah. All right. Good job, Derek.
Yeah, seriously. Eagle eye. So her dad asks her, is it true? She doesn't She doesn't respond. And then he asks why she's here. She asks him, why didn't you tell me? And she tells him that she was making a scrapbook and she found pictures of him in Korea 4 months before she was born, which it means that he couldn't actually be her biological father. He says he didn't want to tell her because he knew that she'd kill him, and that when she was 5, what?
I mean, he was right. Like,
well, yeah,
I mean, I guess that's it. That's the why now, right?
Yeah,
she
found
that's what triggered it.
Yeah, she found out he was her father, and she's like, "Oh, so you mean this guy that's been like handsy and trying to fuck me? And that's my dad? Like, yeah, clearly, her stepfather was correct."
Certainly. And he says that when she was 5, he wanted to take her with him. And Kate,
in the divorce is what he's saying. Yeah.
And Kate asks,
but of course, nope, go ahead. Sorry.
And Kate asks her dad why he didn't kill Wayne. And he says that I don't have murder in my heart. And you could tell that one wounds Kate. Like, she looks pretty taken aback by that. And as she gets up to leave, her dad says that, I have to call the authorities. And she's like, yeah, I know. And she asks for an hour. He agrees. They hug and cry. She leaves.
Yeah. It's a tough scene.
That is, yeah. Back in the bunker, Kate is still taking care of Sawyer. And she says Wayne, like a question. And then she starts talking.
Yeah, because she's getting the idea, just like he started to figure out the boar was after him.
Yeah.
She's getting the idea that like something he's channeling Wayne, I guess, is what, she's coming to that decision.
To which Locke would say, no, that would just be ridiculous.
Right.
And then she starts talking to Sawyer like he is Wayne. And she starts explaining why she killed him. She says, it wasn't the home wrecking. It wasn't the way that you looked at me. It wasn't that you beat up my mom. It was that I knew you were a part of me and that I would never, because of that, I would never be good. I would never be a good person. And then she says, and when I look at Sawyer, I see Wayne and it makes me sick.
That's wild.
That's wild. And then Sawyer, obviously coming around a little bit, says, that's so sweet. Who the hell is Wayne?
Oh my God. He's back. The guy, he's like almost fucking dead for 3 days or 2 days or whatever. And then he wakes up and says something smart ass.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He can't help himself.
It's his personality.
Yep, right.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I woke up from brain surgery, the first thing I did was ask for chapstick. Everybody knows that I have a chapstick addiction.
Yeah.
Like, my lips hurt real bad.
I mean, it's like being in surgery is very drying to the lips.
Yeah.
Was that like your Yelp review of brain surgery?
I don't know. They let Caleb come in while I was in recovery, and he's like, "How you doing?" I was like, "I need chapstick." And then he knew I was okay.
I remember it was really cold.
Yeah.
What was cold?
Hospital.
When you wake up after surgery, it was cold.
Oh,
like the room
well,
was really
yeah, because
cold.
your body temperature drops when you're under anesthesia. Yeah. Anywho.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Oh my God.
So Sawyer looks around because, obviously they're in the bunker, and he asks if he's in a bunk bed, and then he asks her, have we been saved? She says no. In the button room, Locke is splicing the new film reel with Echo, and then he asks, what are the odds? And, he kind of lists out everything that happened, and then Echo says, don't mistake coincidence for fate.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's outlocking the lock, man.
Yeah.
So Sawyer's out of bed, and Kate's walking him through the bunker, and he's still he can't believe that they haven't been saved. So she walks him out into the jungle, and he looks around for her.
Right, because he doesn't know. No. Like they have no idea that the hatch has been blown open. Yeah. And if I was him, I'd think the same thing. I'd be looking around and be like, okay, I mean, somebody decorated like it was the 70s, but obviously this is a structure. It's a building. We've been saved. Right. Yeah.
But you would imagine that if you had been saved, you'd be in a hospital bed of some sort.
Yeah.
Yes, but what I'm saying is like how yes, you're right. That should be the first thought. However, like how is his brain supposed to reconcile like what he's seeing without being like, well, I'm not on a beach, I'm not in a jungle. Obviously, I'm saved. Yeah. But yeah, of course he should be in the ER.
Yeah. So Kate walks him out into the jungle, and he looks around a bit, and I think he just says, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sawyer tells Kate, "I think you better take me back inside." And, he's obviously like, "I can't believe my eyes," sort of thing. And she turns, and she sees the horse standing there. And Sawyer tells her, "Yeah, I can see it too." So she walks over, she pets the horse, and in classic Sawyer fashion, I don't know, you guys remember what he says here?
Mm-hmm. You know that horse, Freckles?
Freckles.
To which she says yes. We come back to the beach, and Ana Lucia is sitting alone making wooden stakes. Jack brings her some of the airline tequila bottles and says, "We don't have any tonic. I think we're a little short on mixers."
Yeah.
And she says, "You shouldn't waste it on me. Everybody hates me." And then Jack, I don't really understand this. He says something about like, if you can tell me all women aren't crazy or something like that. I really didn't understand that interaction.
Fuck you, Jack. I think Jack is still in that moment where Kate kissed him and then like ran off, and
that's why he was chopping that wood aggressively.
Yeah.
I do love that, Ben, you actually wrote aggressively, which that was terrific when I saw that.
Well, that is how they chop wood on that island.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So generally they're a little more lubed up, but yeah, I mean.
Uh-oh.
So you know what? I know what happened here, because she says, "Don't waste it on me." She says, "You can't tell me, like, can you tell me that everybody doesn't hate me?" And then he says, "Can you tell me that all women aren't crazy?" It was something like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
calm down, Jack.
Yeah. They have.
Yes, I can tell you that all women aren't crazy, Jack.
Yeah, seriously. Patronizing asshole. So they drink on the beach. And back in the bunker, Michael is inspecting all of the equipment in the button room while Locke and Echo are watching the missing part of the movie reel. The guy in the reel says that you should only use the computer to input the code, and that people from other stations may try to convince you to contact the outside world. You should not do that, and if you do, it could trigger another incident. So Michael is in the button room. Obviously, once again, we got real tight controls around this process. And he notices the computer monitor says hello. He types hello, and the computer says, "Who is this?" Michael smiles and, let me write you back. "Who is this?" And then there's a pause. And then you just see the word "dad" with a question mark on the screen.
What?
That's the end of the episode.
I was expecting to say, "Would you like to play a game?"
Yeah, seriously. It just says follow the white rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right. So, fun facts today. We're going to talk about famous black horses. I did not actually include Black Stallion because that one was too easy, or Black Beauty. I don't know. Maybe people outside of America don't know those stories. I'm not entirely sure. But I do have a couple real horses and a bunch of mythology and legendary horses. So let's begin. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this. I think maybe Sleipnir is an 8-legged black horse that comes from Norse mythology. Mm-hmm. Norse mythology. This horse is ridden by Odin, and he was said to be the best among horses with the ability to outgallop, outkick, outjump, and outwhinny all the other horses.
Got 8 fucking legs. I mean, I'd like to see how that's even like anatomically possible. I think at that point you have to realize I'm actually riding a spider.
Yeah.
So, in Scottish lore, there are shape-shifting water spirits named Kelpies who will take the form of a black horse. And they do this in order to coax children into riding them. And then they dive into the lochs of Scotland and drown the kids.
That's fucked up.
Great story.
I know. The Irish legend of the Dullahan, also known as the Headless Horseman or the Dark Man, rides a giant black horse with flaming red eyes. He carries his head under his arm as he rides through the city or the countryside. And when he pulls up, someone dies. The Irish Banshee, who is the harbinger of death, rides with the Headless Horseman. And she is pulled by 6 black horses, or are pulling a hearse, which she rides in. This legend, obviously, has been adapted in American history. The 4 of us will know it as the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is set in 1790 Tarrytown, New York. It is also a headless horseman, although he is a Hessian soldier who haunts the fields and the school teacher Ichabod Crane. I had to look up Hessian. Does anybody know what that is?
It's German.
Yeah.
German.
Hessians were German soldiers who served as auxiliaries to the British Army during the American Revolutionary War.
Yep.
We now come to the legend of the Black Horse, which takes place in Quebec, Canada, and its sort of surrounding rural areas. And it's basically a story about a priest who needs to build a church, but doesn't have the manpower to do it. And some kind of magical being shows up and tells him that he can have this black horse, and the black horse will help build the church, but don't ever take its bridle off. And this horse had this insane power and could pull an immense load of rocks, I guess, to help build this church. One day somebody felt sorry for... yes, sorry. Immense load. And somebody felt sorry for the horse, took its bridle off, and the horse immediately turned into Satan and ran away into the woods.
What the?
Sounds like some Gilgamesh shit going on here.
I was just going to say, right? Should I read you the Epic of Gilgamesh again?
No, that's a stupid story.
Please, no.
No. Okay, well, speaking of Satan, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse rides a black horse. Do you know which one?
Death.
No, that was the pale horse.
Exactly. Yeah. So the first horseman is a conqueror with a bow and a crown. And it's supposed to, some people say it represents Christ, some say the Antichrist. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Famine.
Revelations is a fucking...
The black one is famine, right?
There you go. Second horseman is red horse, and it's war. The third is riding a black horse, and it's famine. And then the fourth horseman is a pale horse. Death rides the pale horse.
See, whenever you say 4 horsemen, I'm thinking John, Jack, Jim, and Jose.
Who the fuck are they?
What?
Johnny Walker, Jack Daniels.
Oh my God.
Jim Beam and Jose Cuervo. I mean, I was a bartender for
you're a bartender.
Very long time.
Is that a drink?
That's the 4 horsemen.
An actual drink?
It's 4 horsemen. It's gross.
It's
gross.
It
sounds gross. Mixing all that shit together.
I had forgotten about that.
It's one of those, it's your 21st birthday, I'm going to buy you a 4 horsemen stupid kind of drinks.
Yeah, sounds awful.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just made to force you to puke.
Drunk.
Yeah. All right, I've got 2 famous black horses that are real. The first is named Bucephalus. Does anybody know who rode Bucephalus?
No, but that's a great name.
It is a good name. Bucephalus was ridden by Alexander the Great. Legend has it that when Bucephalus was found, he could not be ridden by anybody other than Alexander the Great. Was
Sounds
the only
like
one who could break him, and the only one that
shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, here's this. So apparently, a group of Persians kidnapped Bucephalus, and Alexander threatened to destroy all of Persia and slaughter every one of its inhabitants until the captors returned his horse, and the horse came back in a matter of days. They took him seriously.
Yeah, I guess so.
Next real horse is named Black Nell. Does anybody know who rode Black Nell?
No.
Nope.
American legend, Wild Bill Hickok.
Oh.
Nice.
Cock.
Legend has it that this mare would lay down when Bill touched her, came to him on command, and would jump up onto a pool table when he instructed her to. And when she would jump off, she'd leap through a wide doorway, bound down a whole flight of steps, and land halfway out on the street. And Wild Bill would then catapult onto her back and ride away. And I don't know if that's true.
I think that's
But-
some more
Horse
Kim
walks into a
Jong-un
bar.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the long face?
Shall we do some best and worst moments?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
You first then, Christy.
The best moment was Echo telling Locke the story of Josiah, and he's like, in the beginning, long before Christ. That moment just made me laugh so much. Worst moments, really, most of the episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you hate it?
I didn't really like this episode, but
Okay.
we'll get into that in final impressions.
Okay. Ben, what about you?
Well, I'll put Michael in my favorite moment. It's the last moment where it just says "Dad" on the screen. Like that's
mine.
a really cool moment.
Yeah.
The worst moment. I mean, there's a lot of them in here.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a. Yeah, I couldn't couldn't pick one, to tell you the truth.
I kind of felt the same way. It sort of felt a little bit like a sloppy episode. Yeah, okay, we'll talk about that some more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good point,
Like
Christy.
I actually liked the episode, which we'll get to. But yeah, I didn't find any single moment to be like my least favorite. You know, if I had to choose one,
Okay.
it would probably be like when Jack is like when they kiss and then she just sort of like pulls away and goes the other way. Like that's kind of a harsh moment.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, for me, I also had the dad on the screen as the best moment. The worst moment I had was when Kate's father said he didn't have murder in his heart.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
good.
seemed to really affect
Yeah.
her.
Saeed's
Derek?
Saeed's you googly, that was pretty bad too.
You googly?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Derek, how about you? What's best and worst for you?
Best moment was when Kate blew up the house.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was a great scene, on the motorcycle. Worst moment, there's a lot of bad moments in this, but the worst one for me was when Kate found out her mother turned her in.
Oh yeah.
Because after all she did to free her mother
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what?
from the abuse.
That's kind of typical of an abused woman.
Yeah.
Right.
You
They
know,
don't-
is to
yeah.
take the side of her abuser. It's how they're
I don't
programmed.
understand.
Yeah.
I've never understood
Mhm.
that, so I guess I never can, but
I haven't either. I have known people who have been in these relationships, and I have accepted the fact that all that I can do is tell them, I'm here when you're ready.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
I think it was the
Yeah.
last episode I brought up getting pushed down the stairs. I thought about that after we recorded it. I need to be clear. It was like 3 steps. It was by the front door. So it wasn't like a flight
I
of
was thinking you
stairs.
went down a whole flight
No.
of stairs.
No.
That's
It
what I
was
thought.
It was 3 steps, so I fell about maybe 4 or 5 feet or something. So anyway, I never thought I would end up in like an abusive relationship, but it lasted 3 years. It happens slowly, and then you sort of get stuck, and it's embarrassing too. Like it's embarrassing to admit that, my husband had a tracker on my phone and had passwords to all of my accounts, and like it's when you're stuck in that situation, it's hard. And like Christy says, you get programmed. You don't know how else to respond.
Yeah.
And so, I believe that her mother would have done that in real life. It's unfortunate. Derek, why don't you give us your best characters? Worst characters, fucking killing all the good stuff.
Yeah, my best character was Jack. I just liked him in this episode. And the second was Mr. Echo, and then Locke. And the worst characters were Kate's mom, then Kate, and then the Marshal. And I'd
go ahead.
Fuck Kate, because she did look good in that denim. I like that denim. She did.
All right. So
and then I killed Kate's mom.
Okay, so you're pulling like a praying mantis kind of thing. You're gonna fuck her and then kill her.
No, Kate's mom.
Kate's mom.
Oh, you're killing Kate's mom. Sorry.
Yeah.
But fucking Kate. Okay. Mine were similar. I had Jack as number one because he's always saving lives. He's always just working toward helping everybody.
Yep.
And then my second and third were just flipped from yours. I had Locke and Mr. Echo. This was so hard for me to do, but my worst character was Kate. And I felt like part of it was just because if I was going to say Ana Lucia was the worst for murdering someone, then I felt like I had to do it to Kate too. But it kills me to have her on my worst character list. And then my second and third were the Marshal and Kate's mom. I decided on another threesome because that scene between Locke and Mr. Echo talking to each other about Josiah and the film and everything, it got me. I want to get in that sandwich. I'm going to get in that sandwich.
That's weird. I'm not going to lie. That's weird.
What's weird?
That
a threesome with those two?
That scene
Locke, Mr. Echo
is what did it for you. Yeah. I mean, that's...
Well, it's not the content of the scene. It was the two of them and their interactions. The same way that it gets me when Locke interacts with Jack. It's a different kind of thing. With them, it's tension. And with these two, it was like collaboration, I guess. And then I'm going to kill Kate's mom because Jesus, woman.
Yep.
Ben, how about you?
My favorite was Kate. I love the anti-hero. I love it. Jack was in second place, Mr. Echo in third. For worst, I'm going to say Wayne. And then second worst, Kate's mom. Third worst, the Marshal. I don't often do threesomes, and I stick to that, but I'm going to fuck Kate twice. Once in denim and once in her island garb.
Oh, wow. You're trying to cancel out all of our negative points.
You are absolutely right. And I'm going to kill Wayne, except the way I'm going to kill him is that I'm not going to blow up the house. I'm just going to let him asphyxiate.
Yeah, just leave the gas on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that honestly would have been a smarter plan. Yeah. But, you know. Christy.
Doesn't look as good on film.
It's true.
Right. Christy, how about you?
My top three are the same as yours. Jack, Locke, Echo. Bottom three, Kate's mom, and Wayne. It's just, I'm not fucking anybody this episode. I didn't find anybody fuckable. But Kate's mom is very killable. So that's where I'm going with that.
Would you like to dive into your final impressions as well, Christy?
Yeah, I didn't really like this episode.
We heard that part.
Right. Getting to know what Kate did, of course, was important.
Right.
But yeah, there weren't a whole lot of people with a whole lot of redeeming qualities in this episode. And it's not my favorite. That's for sure.
We've had reactions to Kate's episodes before like that. The one where with the bank robbery, we were all really annoyed by that episode.
Yeah,
too.
It wasn't a very good one.
Ben, what are your final impressions?
I loved this episode. I thought it was great. I like, Kate's backstory is, there's some menace to it, but I agree 100% with what she did. I think her methods were sloppy, but if I were in that position and my mother were in that position, I would seek to kill the person that did that to her.
Would you really?
Yes.
Not just put him in prison?
Absolutely.
If I thought I could get away with it, yeah.
Wow.
It's hard to be in the situation of being a loved one of someone who is in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have fantasized about, killing a couple of people because my people have been with them in abusive relationships. But I don't know. It would have to be really bad, I think, for me to go to that point.
Yeah, see, I was going to say the same thing. Like, I won't deny that I haven't had my own, like, murderous, psychotic fantasies about certain people in my life. But I don't know that I could actually go through with it because I feel like it would almost be giving the person more power because then they've ruined my loved one's life and they've ruined my life because I'm going to now be a murderer and maybe go to prison or be on the run or whatever. So I kind of feel like in that instance that it wouldn't really accomplish what I would want as like this revenge because I'd have to harm myself in the process. I
don't see it as revenge though.
No.
Did
you you would see it as like help?
I see it as harm mitigation. I'm stopping the thing that's harming you. When
I was 18,
it's no different to me than like cutting off like cutting out a piece of cancer. Like you're trying to save that person's life. Period.
When you were 18,
when I was 18, my first girlfriend told me that her father had been basically raping her entire life, and I took my .357 Magnum out from under my bed and thought of ways I could kill him. But I realized it would ruin my life. I'd be a killer and probably go to prison, put the gun away and call the police and send him to prison for 28 years.
Holy fuck.
Good for you.
Yeah, he got sentenced to 70. He served 20. He just got out this year, 2021.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, you might remember her.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember. Yeah, when we were at Office Depot.
Holy.
And he had pled guilty when she was 11.
Oh, my God.
And was kicked out she got probation. And when she went back in the house, he started doing it again. I hated her mother. Ooh, I hated that bitch.
Oh my God.
She even told me, she goes, I was too afraid to say anything. So she knew. And I said, my mother would have killed the motherfucker.
Oh, hell yeah.
She knew?
Yeah.
She knew?
Yeah, she knew. She was afraid.
And see, that's another fucking example because she was, I'm sure, abused by this guy.
He was horrible.
Yeah.
He used to beat her brother up like bloody. I mean, he was a real son of a bitch.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
I've had a lot of experience with the legal system.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you really have.
I had to testify and everything. I mean, it was crazy.
Wow.
But they convicted him in 30 minutes.
It's really kind of weird how many trials you've testified in. Zero shame stories, guys. Go listen to Derek's episode.
So,
you want to hear it.
Circling back to the episode summary. I liked what happened. The whole thing with the horse and the sort of like Wayne, Horse, Sawyer, the sort of trio that's going
on.
Trilogy.
Yeah. Overall, I really like. I thought it was a really great episode. I enjoyed watching Kate kick some ass.
Yeah.
I do like Kate kicking some ass. My final impressions, I noticed the similarities between, the Sawyer Boar episode and this one with, I guess, Sawyer as the boar. But I thought that it just sort of felt like a lesser repeat of that storyline to me. So I don't know that I really liked that. I do like, there were a lot of mini storylines in this that were all kind of driving the plot in a certain direction, which I did enjoy. I don't know. I think I'm in between Christy and Ben. I liked the episode, but I don't know that I'd put it at my favorite.
Oh, it's not
or
my
with
favorite.
my favorites, I would say.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay. Derek, what do you got for us?
I really like this episode too. I mean, we finally find out what Kate did to be on the run. She killed her biological father by blowing up his house.
Yes.
And her mother just accepted the abuse, and now, as a final blow to Kate, turns her in. Kate kisses Jack, and then she runs off. And then she sees her father and Sawyer, and then Sawyer recovers. And I also like the film, when they were looking at the film.
Oh, the new piece of it, yeah.
Yeah, the new pieces. So I had actually two questions: is where the hell is Walt, and why was the film edited?
Oh,
all right.
Those are great questions. Off the top of my head, I have no fucking idea when that kind of stuff will get answered. So I guess we'll just move on to next week.
All right.
Next week, Mr. top of the power rankings. We're going to meet him. We're going to get his backstory. It's Mr. Echo, the 23rd Psalm.
Speaking of power rankings, we still need to do power rankings.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'll make it quick. Mr. Echo is soaring still to the lead with 85 points. Behind him, we have actually Kate retaining second place with 39, with Dr. Bronze in third, 36 points. The bottom of the barrel is, it's basically the same. Randy Douchebag Nations, negative 33. Mr. Cooper, negative 30. And Anna Lucia and Susan tied for third, but negative 24.
So, so your double fuck for Kate definitely helped to cancel some of that out since she's still in second.
That's right. I'm giving my girl the support she needs. Unlike Libby.
Anywho. Oh, boy.
She needs support.
Woo! Next week, Mr. Echo, the 23rd Psalm. Christy's going to give it to us. We will see you then. Bye.
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 Lost in My 40s is a Space Bear Media production. Executive produced and edited by me, Lacy J. Sound engineering, editing, and original music by Benjamin Trimp. Like and follow Lost in My 40s on Facebook to interact with your hosts. Plus, follow Space Bear Media on YouTube to watch our episode pre-shows. You can also find us at SpaceBear_media on Instagram and Twitter. Or come to our website, spacebearmedia.com.